Currently continuing how I ended my last video with unraveling this sweater that I want to knit a new one out of. And I'm watching like my watch later playlist on YouTube because sometimes I don't have time for it, and now I have like 21 videos I want to watch that have been published like over the past few weeks and have been shown me my recommendations. And I just watched a really interesting video by Elise Capel, and I've watched videos of her before, but it's basically a video about slow living. She always makes very like critical videos, I would think, like video essays. And so I thought like, oh, is she gonna like say something against slow living? But I thought it was really interesting how she talked about slow living, and I see it kind of the same. Like, so many creators are showing slow living as this perfect lifestyle that you do have to do off the grid, grow all of your veggies yourself and everything like that. And yes, you can do that, and that's slow living, but it's not practical for everyone. And she kind of says that we should politicize slow living and make it a movement that can serve everyone, kind of promoting time and space for ourselves, not following the whole hustle culture thing. And I agree with her so much. And that's kind of what I try to do here. I'm not living off the grid. I'm living in a big city in an apartment, and I still try to show you slow living. And of course, it's maybe not as aesthetically pleasing or anything, but I want to be like, that's my reality. And I still believe in slow living. And so I do really hope for so many of you who also do not live off the grid and maybe still kind of crave a little bit of that slowing down, living more sustainably, living more like intentionally. Yeah, so I was kind of afraid clicking on the video. I'm relieved I have similar views as her, and I'm gonna link you the video down below for you to watch because I think it's a great one. It's Monday morning now, a new week has started. My back feels a lot better, so I'm working at my desk again. I've been like organizing what kind of videos I want to make during the coming months, and like how to organize everything with traveling in August. And I just wanted to like ask you, let me know if you have any video ideas you would like to see here on the channel. Let me know. Maybe there's something I want to create as well and haven't thought of. So it's always helpful if you leave recommendations down below. But I was working here, and then a friend of mine, she doesn't have to work today, and asked me if we want to go to the lake. And so we're gonna go to the lake quickly. We haven't seen each other in a long time, and it's just because we're both busy usually, and then schedules don't match up. So yeah, I'm meeting her in front of my house in like 6 minutes. So let's pack. Whoa. My phone also needs to be charged still. But we're just gonna take our bikes and quickly go for a swim. It's really hot here. It has been since like 2 weeks or more, but then back then I wasn't here. Yeah, it's like too hot for nature, and it rained only a little bit, and it should really rain more. But it's great weather to go swimming, of course. And you know, one of the rare occasions to wear clothes like these here in Germany, at least for my body and how I feel. Okay, I can't drink. I'm back home, it was wonderful. I kept my computer trying to edit the video that you're watching and also trying to figure out all my bookkeeping and tax problems, because honestly it's more complicated than I thought, or my CPA or tax advisor thinks, because we are kind of miscommunicating and it looks different on her end than it does on my end. So nothing that I like doing, nothing that I like looking forward to figuring out. But it has to be done, and I hope we'll find a solution soon. So I thought I'd sit down here and show you how my sweater looks. I'm still opening it up. It's a bit trickier here than it was before. I also wanted to talk about being ordinary or living an ordinary life, or the opposite of it, a extraordinary life, and things like that. I think it's a topic I've been talking about on my channel, so it's not the first time I'm mentioning it. Today, I want to say that I think I had quite a big change of heart during the past few years. I remember really thinking that being normal or being ordinary or having anything else than an extraordinary, amazing, great, different life would be super boring and not something worth having, worth wanting. I remember I wrote a blog post about it in German a few years ago, many years ago now, that I want an ordinary life, because in reality we all know that most of our lives are just lived in everyday life. I wrote this blog post and was frustrated with myself, not wanting to look forward to a life that could seem boring. As a kid, I think I was not ordinary, maybe. I had cancer when just before I entered kindergarten, which meant that I entered kindergarten without hair on my head, which of course made me different. At some point when I was 16, maybe, I started feeling like being different is actually great. I want to be different there and kind of did all of the things to be different. I'm not going to go into detail now because for some of it I feel a bit ashamed now maybe. But now I'm at a point where I can honestly say I don't think I want to be different anymore. I think I'm all for an ordinary and boring life, being an ordinary and boring person. Now that said, of course, all of us are different. We are all unique. And I think that's just enough. I just really don't want to generate attention anymore by being different. Maybe also because I just had enough of it, being a kid, having cancer, and then having a child at 18. And I know I cut my hair off by choice a few years ago, and I'm probably gonna do it again, and it will probably generate some attention, but actually I'm definitely not seeking that. Being ordinary has huge advantages. You don't have to over-explain yourself all the time. It's like your appearance and your existence is not always questioned. And of course, I'm still speaking out of a position where I'm a privileged person and my appearance and existence usually is not questioned. But I want to kind of promote being ordinary a little bit, Because I really believe having an ordinary life that you are generally okay with is way more satisfying in the long run. I want to clarify something here. So maybe in the past I was kind of chasing being different, and I really don't want to say that I now try to like chase being normal or ordinary. I don't think that would be any better. What I mean is that I just want to be myself, and without kind of like the pressure of this being myself needing to be something special and something extraordinary. I don't need to prove how different I am. So the goal is to express yourself however you want without trying to be special or trying to be normal. And yes, you might think now that my life is not very ordinary because I earn my money on YouTube, that I have a dream life being self-employed, and that's kind of true. Like, I'm living the life I want to live. But I think it's like, again, in all of these things, being an influencer, I don't have any ambitions to become the biggest influencer, one of the biggest influencer, one of the richest influencer, one of the richest people in general, or like rich in general. I think these ambitions would make my life harder instead of more enjoyable. And maybe I'm going to change my mind about that again. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And we're done. No, there's still like one knot. Now we're done. So this is all the yarn that I now have to knit. Oh, can I show you better? This is all the... No! One is escaping again. Ooh, it's a struggle. Yeah, I don't know. You can imagine. It's like 500 to 600 grams, I think. Ooh. I'm at the secondhand store and I'm looking for bowls, but I'm having a hard time finding the right ones. So I am back and I found a few things. One, I have this box. We sometimes freeze stuff in here, or my son takes his like, how do you call it in English? When it's not like a lunch, he doesn't take lunch to school, he just takes a little bit for a break in between. That. And like 2 white bowls. They have a bit of like, you can see they've been used. And also like this glass bowl and this black blue bowl, just because kind of we love using them to store food in the fridge, to eat out of, to, I don't know, it's just we did not have enough. And I paid €7.50 for them, which I think I got a good deal. So now I'm gonna wash all of them before using. And I'm happy I found parts of what I needed. I always have kind of a list of things I need, and some of the things have been on there for a year and I wasn't able to find them, but it's not like very urgent stuff, because then I would maybe have bought them somewhere else. But I like to buy things secondhand and kind of, yeah, support this store and also the environment as well as my wallet. I came on a spontaneous evening walk and I'm listening to a podcast, which makes me want to remind you that I have 2 podcasts, one on Patreon where I dive deeper into topics similar as on my YouTube channel, and one with Paulina, and both of them are linked down below. So if you're interested in that, check them out. And now I'll show you a bit of this beautiful like sunshine that we have here and high grass, and I'm enjoying my evening walk. The next morning, and I'm cutting this video that you're watching because it's supposed to go online in a few hours. I'm also eating my breakfast, and I used the frozen strawberries from last vlog, but it's so cold that I'm kind of waiting, and usually I don't eat my breakfast while working, but this time I just thought, like, instead of waiting in front of my breakfast bowl, I'm bringing it to my desk and waiting for it to be a bit warmer. And I want to show you, yesterday I started knitting the sweater. This is just like part of the turtleneck. So we're not very far, but you'll see in the next vlog. I'm gonna continue knitting. And I also wanted to let you know, because I talked about it once or twice, my bookkeeping problems are definitely not solved, and also now I know that there is not really a solution. So I'm just looking at a lot of bookkeeping work during the next few weeks that I really don't want to do. But I mean, things like that happen, and so I'll have to figure it out or pay my tax advisor to do it. But you know, find a good balance there. So thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts in the comments. I will leave you a video here that you can check out if you're interested, and otherwise I want to say thank you to all of you who are supporting me on Patreon or here with super thanks, or just with watching the video until now. That really means a lot and helps me out a lot. So goodbye.